Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how to do some materials in the Unreal Engine. We're just going to go over some basic materials right now, and as you can see I have 4 already laid out. So we have a blue tinted chrome. I tinted it blue because that shows you a little bit more of a sci-fi look when it's tinted blue. I got a red matte, so it hardly reflects any light. I got a really shiny plastic here. And I have sort of a bronze, brass, or even sort of a dirty gold texture over here to the right. So I'm going to show you how to do that today. So if we just click on one of these, hold Alt, and go to drag it, we'll duplicate it. So we'll just duplicate one of these, and we'll bring it over here. You can also do that just by selecting it and Control C, Control V, and it will just duplicate. Alright, so we'll put on the basic material here. So if you want to set this up, go into content, so make sure you're in the content browser, right click, new folder, and you can call it material. I've already got one, so I'm just going to delete the one I just made, and then you'll have your own little folder. And then to create a material, right click and click material. Alright, so I already had a material, so let's just delete that one, and then when you do create material, double click and you'll jump into it. Alright, so now let's go over the basics. So you have the 3 ones you'll always need, unless you have sort of normals attached, which you should already know what normals do. They sort of warp the light to make your object look more 3D. So the 3 we're going to look over today is base color, metallic, and roughness. These are the only 3 I use to make my 4 materials over here. So let's bring that back up. Alright, so I've double clicked that, we'll get this up. Now we're going to look at 1, 2, and 3 constants. So to get these up, hold 1 left click, you get a 1 constant vector. Hold 2 left click, 2 constant vector. Hold 3 left click, 3 constant vector. And there's even a 4th, which I pretty much never use, but so I'm not really going to go over that one today. That one just uses alpha channels as well. Right, so let's start looking at this. I'll delete the extra ones I just made. So a 1 constant will have values between 0 and 1, which means at 0 it will be black, so you can see here, and at 1 it will be white. Then any in between value will just blend between the 2. So a low will obviously be a dark grey, and a high will be a very light grey. Right, so we can use that in a minute, so I'll just keep that over here. A 2 constant vector uses red and green values, so I hardly ever actually use this one. So we put red to 1, obviously it's going to be completely red. Put 0, go back to black, put 1 on green, it'll be green, and then if we do like 1 on both, it'll merge the 2, or you can mess around, have it so there's a little bit of red in there and get a lime colour apparently. I hardly ever use a 2 constant because I don't see much purpose for it, because when you go to a 3 constant and you click the constant value here, you can just change the colour to whatever you want. So like I've not found too much use for a 2 constant, but they're probably, when connecting it to certain nodes, will probably be a very good use for a 2 constant. Right, so that's what a 2 constant does. It's just values between red and green. So now going into 3 constant, like I just showed you, you have a color where you can just change it to any color you want. Make sure you tick sRGB, because without this, you get colors that aren't going to reflect in the world. So if I go here, that looks like it's red. It's not. It's actually kind of orange. Like if I tick it, you'll see it change. I don't know how much that shows up on the video, but yeah, you'll see it change between 2 different colors. So make sure you've got sRGB ticked, because that's actually how it's going to show in the real world, or in like your scene. So we'll first make a red matte material. So if I just click on this and click the base color, we'll dye it red. If I come up a bit closer here, we'll dye our material red. Now we want to connect our constant to our metallic and our roughness. So because it defaults it as a plastic, you technically don't need to connect it to metallic values because it's already a plastic. But if I was to change it to a 1, it will turn it to a metal. So we'll stay at 0 for now, just keep it plastic. So if we just click on this, Control C, Control V, we'll make a new value. Well, make a new constant. So connect that one to your roughness, and then just control this value between 0 and 1 to get how shiny you want it to be. So 0, which is black, and I'll show you, I'll preview it, which is black, will be shiny. 1 will be rough. Now, think about this, because it's always confused me, but if you want to think about this and always get it right, just think that one value means it's rough, because it's called a roughness map. So positive means rough, negative or just zero value means shiny. So the higher the value, the rougher it will be. In other programs, it's sometimes called a gloss map, and then it's got the opposite effect. 0, black, isn't shiny, 1 is shiny. In programs such as Marmoset uses this. So we'll make it shiny plastic for now, and we'll click should keep that 0. Then click apply. Now if we minimize that, go back to our scene. We already had dragged it onto it, so just to drag a material onto something, all you got to do is hold, click on it, and just drag. So I can change it to whatever I want, whenever I want. So we drag that on, we have a shiny red. So let's now duplicate this one back over. And now let's just right click on our material, or just right click, create new material. You can always right click and duplicate, but I'll just create a new one. Go into this one, and now we'll start a new one. So again, 3 left click, we'll get a color, change it to, we'll go for a metallic pink, why not? So put that in, hold 1 left click to get your 1 constant, and just drag it straight into your metallic, set it to 1, we have a metal now, and we'll make this one, oh, not a free value, we'll just hold 1 left click, and we'll make this one kind of shiny, so 0.35, and we got a sort of shiny pink metal. So if we drag that on, there you go, and we'll make one more that's just matte, just to show you no shine at all. I mean, if we go into here, create another color, we'll make it what color have we not used? We'll make it turquoise, or whatever color you'd call that. We'll make this one metal again, but we'll just make it really, really dull. So we'll make it a 0.9, so it's not shiny at all. And as you can see in here, it kind of doesn't look much different from plastic, but if I do change it, you'll see. Because the difference between a metallic and a non-metal, or metal and non-metal, is a metal will reflect the color it is. So if I make this shinier, you will see it's reflecting blue. I mean, you've got some white in there, but it's reflecting blue. Now if I put it to 0, it completely reflects the light, because the light being white, so if you hold L and left click and then click on the preview, you can move it around. So the light is white, so it's only reflecting a white value. But if we change it to 1 on the metal, it will then reflect the color of the actual material. So we'll change it to yellow, it's going to reflect yellow. Right, so yeah, make it really not shiny, so 0.9, and we'll just tick that, and we'll drag that onto this one. And yeah, we have 3 brand new materials that we quickly just whipped up that you can use for pretty much sort of anything. I mean, I can throw that on the floor if I really want. I can make it gold floor. I can even make it shiny if I want. So you can pretty much just, it's a great placeholder, these sort of basic materials, before you go into more advanced materials for your scene. Unless you are doing quite a basic scene, you can get away with some basic materials. Anyways, I hope this helped anyone who didn't know how to do the very basics of materials. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.